I'm Duncan Ferguson and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV. It is me, Baz. We've done it. We've gone and signed a player on deadline day for real money, 13.5 million massive ones. We have bought Oumar Niasse, I think that's how you say his name, Senegalese striker playing for Lokomotiv in Russia, scored 12 goals this season, 10 assists, and has been voted the Russia Player of the Year for 2015. And Everton have gone and snared him. Roberto Martinez has decided there's a lot going on here today. There's currently a game of Pro Evo going on up there at 2v2. That's the noise. Back to more important things like Everton signing players. We've brought him in from the Russian league. He's played for Senegal 4 times, which isn't a lot. But when you buy these players for big money, work permits seem to go through very easily. He looks just what we need, to be honest. We need someone all season who can play off that left-hand side with a bit of pace. He's been playing as a lone striker as well at times this season for Lokomotiv, so he can do that job, we know that. But I think he can link up well with Romelu Lukaku as well. I caught up earlier with European sports journalist Andy Brassel, who's appeared on BT Sport. He's a sports writer, he's been on Sky Sports as well. And he told me that, Niasse this season has been a key figure in that Russian league. He's pacey, he's a little bit gangly at times and scores goals, and bundles his way through and things like that, but he's also a player who gets his head up and can pick a pass. 10 assists will tell you that anyway. And if we can add this pace down that left-hand side alongside Romelu Lukaku, alongside Gerard Deulofeu, with Ross Barkley, who knows what we can achieve. There's been too many games this season that Everton haven't been able to get over the finish line. Yes, a lot of that's been about the defence, but it can never do you any harm to have more firepower. And if this kid can come in and go down the left-hand side and give us an outlet down there, and we've got an outball down the right-hand side, imagine how much freedom that's going to give for Lukaku. That'll give us an extra injection, I think. And if we can get the defence right, stop conceding silly goals, and get that defence right, then I'll tell you what, Everton will become a force again, because going forward we've scored so many goals. You're bringing someone else in who can get, maybe 6-7 goals between now and the end of the season to help Lukaku out. Who knows? I've seen a lot of people on Twitter who they're not really buying into it at the moment. I think because he's relatively unknown. Let's be honest, I don't know really much about him. I've had a look on YouTube. On YouTube, everyone looks great. Dennis Strachwalasi looked like Maradona on YouTube, so you can't always take YouTube as a guide. But some of the goals he scored look very good. He looks a little bit like Paulo Wanchop, which is all, it's all gravy. And I think it's a good, exciting signing for Everton. It could work out. It could be, something that doesn't work out, and we all sit here and go, why did we sign him? But I always like to give people a chance. And I think when you're buying a player with pace, it's such an important ingredient now in the Premier League. And I think you put him out on that left-hand side or straight down the middle. We could give there could be games when Rom needs a rest and we can play him as the lone striker with two, flanked by 2 wingers. So I think it's a good signing for Everton. I think obviously Roberto Martinez has looked. He's seen that we're 23 games into the season, only won 6 of them. We need something else down that left-hand side. We tried Kone out there. Tom Cleverley, I think, does a decent job out there, but, he's more kind of cautious. This will enable us to play probably a direct 4-4-3. 4-4-3, that's a bit wrong. Can't play with 11 men, are we? 4-3-3. Well, you do play with 11 men. Jake's looking at me like I'm lost, obviously, including the goalkeeper. That would be 12 if it was a 4-4-3. A 4-3-3, which would mean that we'd have to play 3 behind, obviously, in a flat 3, but we'd have 3 players with real pace. And you know what? In the Premier League, everything is about pace, isn't it? So this kid could come in, play up on the left. He could play down the middle as the striker. Let me know what you think. I think it's obviously a gamble, because every time you sign a player, it's a gamble. And he's coming in from a totally different league. He could crash and burn, who knows? But then again, he could set the place on fire. And this is the thing. Some of these clubs, like Leicester City, have brought Mahrez in. people were like, ooh, and he's absolutely tore the Premier League up. He's been amazing. So, you know, sometimes a player comes through and you go, why weren't they after him, or why aren't they after him? You know, why didn't we go and buy him? Well, this might be the player that we've bought that does the business. And, you know, who knows, he could give our season a real boost, which could in turn help Lukaku, help John Stones, help Ross Barkley to look and think, we're actually going in the right direction. Who knows? Who knows? I'm prepared to give him a go. Let's all get behind the lad and let's sort it. Jake's writing things like, all right, let's have a little break. Now, you've said a lot. I'm going to take Jake's advice, probably the only time I'll ever take it. Make sure you subscribe up here. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Are you happy with the Niasse signing? Is it a panic buy? Do you think we should have spent it on maybe a Charlie Austin instead, who's proven in the Premier League? Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Toffee TV 1. Make sure you subscribe as we head to that 7,000. I've been Baz. This has been breaking news on the day that Everton have spent 13.5 million on Oumar Niasse from Locomotive to Everton. Come on, you blue boys. See you next time on Toffee TV.